Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I'm going to give a little bit of a weekly progress update, what dose I'm on, what injection site I used, did I make any changes, how I'm feeling, and just really what's going to be coming down the pike for the next week. But if you're new to my channel, I started taking Mounjaro back in March of 2023. I'm now on the compound Tirzepatide. I am on 10 milligrams right now. But overall, I made a change about 2 weeks ago to just look at what did I do when I first started taking Mounjaro and try to get back to that place, because I was noticing that some of the weight was starting to creep up. I was feeling stressed, overwhelmed, and just a lot of a lot of noise. I want to say not food noise, but just noise of like what I shouldn't be eating or shouldn't be doing. So I just wanted to strip it back and get back to this like comfort zone of mine. And so that first week of doing that, which was the week before, I lost about 6.4 pounds. And so this week, going off of that big weight loss number and also being on this medication for, almost 2 years, there's so many unknowns. I didn't know what was going to happen this week. Pleasantly surprised I lost 2.6 pounds this week. So I'm now, I think, looking at a little over 9 pounds lost within the past 2 weeks, but I also didn't lose any prior to that. And so I did not make any changes in terms of, what I was eating. I followed the same thing I did the week before. Workout plan was around the same thing. I do my strength training 4 days a week, but I also walk every single day, try to get outside for a consistent 40-minute walk. Most of the time I can just get up and go at lunchtime and get it done. And then I walk my dog a little bit too. And so then I also use my walking pad every day at my desk. I try to do about an hour there, which just gives me the movement I need throughout the day. So it's just not like one block of time where I'm getting movement or working out. I have the luxury of doing that, and I completely understand that. And I don't want to be like, you must do this too, where you're like, I don't have time to fit other than maybe an hour to an hour and a half block. And I completely understand that, because there's times where I have that as well. But right now I'm in a little bit of a groove and working from home that I have that luxury. But I followed everything that I needed to follow, that I felt like I needed to follow to be able to get about a 2-pound weight loss. So I was able to get a little bit more than that. And my injection site. So let's just talk a little bit about that, because I know a lot of you like to know, did I do my arm again? And so when I did my first injection, my arm, it was my left arm, I gained about, I want to say 0.8 pounds, and, side effects were crazy. But then the following week, I did my right arm and I lost over 6 pounds. So because the fatigue was a little much to handle, I decided I want to go back to my comfort zone. I want to go back to my stomach. And so that is what I did. I went back to my stomach, and I was hoping that it would kind of, that fatigue would go away a little bit. And it wouldn't necessarily hinder any of the weight loss that I had the week before. I was hoping I would still hit that number. And so this past week, with a little over, what was it, 2.6 pounds I lost, that injection site was my stomach. But the side effect, the fatigue, did it stick around or did it go away? Because a week before with my arms, it stuck around for like 2.5 days, and then it just phased out. This week, it didn't go away. That fatigue lasted every single day of the week. And I'm a week, today's my shot day, even though I'm going to take it tomorrow because I was traveling. I am a full week from my shot and I am still exhausted. Now that can mean one of two things. And comment below any suggestions, recommendations on how to battle fatigue that maybe I'm not thinking of, but I'm hydrated, okay? I don't have any underlying health conditions of concern because I had over 108 biomarkers tested. So to me, that means two possible things. Either my dosage is too high, or I'm not eating enough. I didn't track my food again this week because I was in such a good place. I have no issues tracking. It doesn't trigger anything for me. I like it because I'm a very data-driven person. And I just was like, I don't feel like doing it. I didn't feel like doing it. Rosie agrees. And so this week, I think I might do it for the purpose of making sure I'm eating enough. not only just calories, but also protein, making sure I am getting enough protein. And I'm not talking about, I don't have a very high, I don't take, 200 grams of protein a day. My range is about 99, we'll just say 100 to about 130. That's my range for me in terms of protein. And I don't go 130 every single day. I try to get like nice little happy medium between the two. But maybe that's quite possibly one of the reasons that I am battling the fatigue right now, because it's just very, very unpleasant. I'm still going to stick to my stomach, but I'm going to try to figure out if maybe I need to go down a dose, and I'm just thinking about that, or do I stay at the dose and first just make adjustments to my food? All to be determined. Not trying to overthink this. I'm still trying to lose about, 2 pounds a week. We'll see what this next week brings. But the fatigue is the one that has really been quite the struggle for me. Outside of that, I haven't had any issues eating. I think because I knew what I was going to be eating, I had it all planned out. I didn't have to think about it. But now being at the beach, where I told myself, bring everything but dinners. You can have dinners, covered, go get something to eat. I can find things at the beach that are healthy for me. Or I can find things that are not the greatest for me, that I shouldn't be eating every single day. I'll put it that way. Like, you can indulge every once in a while. That's just, not a medical professional, not telling you what to do, but I know for me, it's perfectly fine on occasion for me to indulge in something. But it took me over an hour last night to just figure out what to eat. If it was up to just me, I would have been like, I'm not eating. I don't want anything. I don't want to eat. But I knew that I needed to eat. I knew that that was going to cause more harm than good. I was probably going to feel worse if I didn't eat anything. So I ended up, after an hour later, going, just go get a chicken Caesar salad from this place down the street. And that's exactly what I did. And it was really good. I just couldn't make a decision. And I couldn't figure out what I wanted to eat it. And it wasn't like I was trying to be like, don't get the fries, don't get the ice cream. It was none of that. I didn't want any of that. It was just, I could not for the life of me figure out what to eat. And there's a million things that I like to eat here. So that was a very interesting thing yesterday. But I think in terms of what went well this week, I stuck exactly to everything that I needed to do in terms of movement and nutrition and keeping the stress down, and my sleep was really well. Next week, I think for me, I really just want to take a closer look to make sure I am eating enough, making sure I'm eating enough protein. I'm following exactly what I did when I first started. So that's exactly what I did. I would track, and I would take a look, and I would make little minor adjustments. So I know what those minor adjustments are, because I did, do a lot in my Fitness Pal, which is now good for me to go back and look at. I'm happy I did that. But overall, will I go down to 7.5? I'm not 100% sure yet. I just personally want this fatigue to go away, because it is hindering a little bit of just my energy is completely zapped. It is just zapped. Zapped doing this video. Like, I could probably take a nap as soon as I'm done filming this video. But we're going to see what next week brings. Not making any changes, as I mentioned before, not making any changes to what I'm eating. And also workout plan, and we'll just see what the next week brings in terms of weight loss. I do think, if I want to think a little bit, this isn't long term. This is more of like, not next week, but the weeks after. I keep saying I really need to do two things. The first one is I want to track more than just the number on the scale. I have those metrics. I'm a little bit biased when it comes to, I think smart scales, especially the Renpho one that I just got. That is phenomenal for getting your weight. But those additional things that they track, they can be skewed a little bit by, hydration levels, so many different things that it's not the most accurate. So it's not like I could be like, oh, look I built muscle based on my Renpho scale. It's watching trends. And I think that's important, that you can just see trends over time. But I probably will get another in-body scan done at the gym this week, so that I can take a look at, I think I did one in the beginning of the year. And I can take a look at not only the beginning of the year, but just going, months and months back that I had them done. So I can take a closer look, just because it's a little bit of it's a step down from DEXA scans, and well, MRIs are like the gold standard. But I think if I can just get an in-body scan, take a look at some of those numbers, I want to try to find additional ways other than just that number on the scale to make sure I am progressing, because I am trying to build muscle. I'm trying to get the body fat percentage down. But the other thing is, and I've talked about how I had the dietitian meeting that did not go as planned. It just didn't. It was awful. And I was just thinking to myself, excuse my dog, she sees a dog on the beach. I was thinking to myself, all right, I can keep seeking out either therapy or dietitians, registered dietitians, but I need to make sure that they have experience in a GLP-1 world, and they're also a advocate for use of GLP-1s and have worked with a bunch of people, not just letting me be like one of 10 people they've worked with in the past 2 years. So I'm taking a look at a couple different like telehealth companies that also provide these services. I don't want group nutrition classes. I want to speak one-on-one with somebody. I've looked a little bit at Mochi Health. I've looked at a couple different other, only Mochi Health was the first one that came to my head, but I've looked at a couple other things online. And comment below, even if you're on a name brand, because you can get name brand through some telehealth companies too. But if you're using, say, a telehealth company to get your medication, if you have any recommendations on those companies and they offer as well, either one-on-one dietitian sessions or even therapy, let me know. I'm drawing a blank on the second one I saw, so I'm still in that early stages, but that is where my focus really wants to go in the coming days and coming weeks, just because I keep saying when I get to that maintenance part of things, I really want to be working more closely to just really keep trying to fix my relationship with food and set myself up for success. But a great week, followed everything that I needed to follow. Going to do the same thing for this coming week. We're just going to see what happens, how I'm feeling. My injection this week will be in my stomach, hoping I can get this fatigue just knocked down. I'm kind of over it. But I hope you enjoyed today's little quick video, quick little update on where I am, how I'm feeling, and just no drastic changes. Still trying to slowly cut back on the weight that I, get myself back to where I was before I started gaining a little bit of weight for, that period of time in the winter. But I will see you all in the next video. You enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.